Mack.
Yeah, so let's talk about BJ Mack. He is one of the most heavily recruited prospects in the portal right now. You got Power Fives all over him, including Michigan. He has a top 10 right now. We just had a story over on 24/7 Sports by Brandon Jenkins, who I mean, it's hard to tell from the interview if anyone is really sticking out, but it's clear that he sees Juwan Howard, his NBA background as a major attribute. And then he talked like he thinks Hunter is coming back. So I don't know if they sort of said that to him in the process of talking to him about coming to Michigan, but he said, I'd love to play next to Hunter. And you got a guy who's been where I wanted to go as far as the NBA is concerned with Juwan Howard. Seems like that'd be a place where I could really improve my stock.
Sam, I was curious about BJ Mack, and I've learned a lesson about evaluating transfer portal guys. I can remember looking at Jalen Llewellyn and Devontae Jones and Mike Smith, looking at their mixtapes online, and I think that there's a better criteria to follow. So what I did is I went back and watched. I think it was Wofford versus the Citadel and another game. They're in the Southern Conference, and BJ Mack averaged 15-5. And so I was just kind of curious, like, how does that transfer to the Big Ten? And I still think it's a fun game to try to speculate. But when I watched, I think it was the quarterfinals of the SoCon, and I remember BJ Mack from the top 100 camp as well. I wanted to see how he had improved or how he was different. He went to USF for a year, and then he played 3 years at Wofford. He's 6'8" and 250, and he was first team All SoCon on a team that was below 500, I believe. The immediate comparison that I had, he looked and moved a lot like Robert Tractor Trailer. Just, big, not super athletic and quick. Lateral quickness, not great. He made 36% of his threes. I didn't see anything in the game. Like, I didn't see him shoot threes, but I looked up his stats. He looked heavy, and he didn't look like a great athlete. Not much lift, not much rim protection, pretty good rebounder. And my concern is that the power forward spot next to Hunter, it's not easy. Like, think about Brandon Johns and Terrence Williams and Musa. They all kind of struggle because Hunter is ball dominant, and he's also a great fit for a lot of players that can play a certain role. Like I think of Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Isaiah Livers would be a great fit with Hunter Dickinson, like a smaller four that can handle the ball, can make threes, can move without the ball. Hunter can get guys like those open shots all the time. And I just think that in the Big Ten, BJ Mack would struggle with some of the athletes and some of the size finishing inside. And I also think that when you look at the way people would play Michigan, like if you think they run Hunter Dickinson off pick and rolls, I think BJ Mack would really struggle in the Big Ten covering pick and roll. So I don't want to break anybody's heart that's so excited that he listed Michigan in his top 10, but I didn't see it as a great fit myself.
Yeah, I wonder if it's one of those cases where beggars can't be choosers, though, right?
No, that's true. That's true.
What is available in the range of players that you can get. Remember, so we said you gotta, there's a certain pool that you're talking about. You're talking about freshmen and sophomores, right? Is there a better option than BJ Mack in that group, or grad transfers, of course? But
Yeah,
upperclassmen you can't really get. So in that range of players, is there a better option than him?
I think
And if
there
he,
is. I think
and
there
he,
is, Sam. And I don't know if that guy has entered the transfer portal yet. The thing I also didn't love about BJ Mack is that, he's in his last year next year at Michigan if he's there. And And I'd love to see a younger guy that can grow into the program. Kind of, that's how you build your culture. So I do think that there will be more players that enter the portal. And if you just jump out and grab the first guy, you may be saying, "Oh man, I can't." We recruited that guy out of high school, and he could really be perfect for. I think I'd be patient with it.
Yeah, I hear you, but something about the grad transfer, man, that the experienced guy that is sort of more grizzled. He just seems to me to be a grimy, gritty guy, and I
Yeah.
think this team needs some of that, right?
Okay.
Along with the experience too. He kind of strikes me as a from the mud kind of guy in
Hmm.
terms of his play. I just think they could use a little more of that. Would it be the perfect fit? No. But I think he'd be a better complement than anything that we saw this past year. I know that's a very low bar, but
Agree.
here's the other thing. He named a top 10, Tim.
Hmm.
So there's something to be said for running the race, right? You need to be, let's say you got other guys you're targeting, and you know, it's gonna be a minute before those guys emerge. You can't wait to try to get on BJ Mack down the line, hoping to get on one of these guys that hasn't even emerged yet. You get on that guy that emerges and he goes elsewhere. Now you try to come back on BJ Mack. Well, it's too late. But if you recruit that soon to emerge guy or emerge target, and things go to the wayside, at least you've been running the race with BJ Mack to the point where he's an option for you down the line. If he were deciding tomorrow, maybe like you said, maybe it's not the way to go. But the dude named the top 10. Doesn't sound like he's on the verge of making a decision.
No. And if you were to take BJ Mack, then all of a sudden you've got a lot of players at the four. I really liked what Juwan did against Vandy, playing that 3-2 with Hunter and Terrace Reed on the blocks. That I thought that was pretty effective. And so I think that Terrace has shown as he gets older, he's going to play some backup 4 minutes. And if you've got BJ, what all of a sudden Terrence Williams and Will Cheddar are your fourth and fifth four-man, or third and fourth. That's a real log jam. I kind of wonder what's going to happen there.
Yeah. Well, I think the portal has a way of influencing the guys that are on the roster. Jalen Llewellyn and Frankie Collins is a perfect example, right? They went
Mhm.
and got Jalen Llewellyn, Frankie Collins was out of here. So I think you have to certainly expect that to maybe be something that could affect things for Michigan this year too. Isaiah Barnes, we did mention already, is in the portal, right? And guys have decisions to make about what they think their role can be here versus what they think it could be elsewhere. And I would not be surprised if you have another guy or two, even before we see what happens with the portal, kind of say, you know what, I can kind of see maybe so at least a guy. I can maybe see my opportunities being more bountiful elsewhere. Time will tell on that.
Yeah.